All right. I guess that's enough of a millennial pause. Um, yeah, so we're back. We are here. We are playing GURPS Conan, Queen of the Black Coast once again. And what does that mean? What does that mean for us? Well, if you didn't tune in last time, um, we had kind of a unexpectedly happy ending. Um, yeah, it was quite different from the short story. Conan survived, of course, but so did everyone else. The whole ship's crew, Baylit, the ship, everything. And there was some scuttlebutt in the comments. Okay, just gonna say, people thought maybe we went a little too easy. Maybe we were a little too cautious. So this week, we're going to drive Conan like we stole him. We're going to make tons of bad decisions. Uh, we're gonna we're gonna try to get into some combat. We're gonna try to mix it up a little bit, and maybe kick some winged ape butt. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Um, but yes, welcome back. We're playing GURPS Conan yet again. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time like I did last week talking about what is GURPS and what is Conan and whatnot. If you need a refresher on that and you're watching this after the live stream, you can pause this video, go watch the start of the other video. But for the benefit of the folks listening or watching the live stream right now, just really quickly, if you didn't catch last week, yeah, what's a Conan? Um, um, GURP stands for the Generic Universal Role Playing System, and it is a system that is meant to accommodate any number of different genres and settings. And they did a line of books set in the Conan, the world of Hyboria. Yes, Hyboria. I always want to say Hyperborea, but that's actually just a nation in the Hyborian um, region, I guess you could say, the Hyborian continent. I don't know. My knowledge on this stuff only goes so far. So yeah, and we're playing a solo adventure, Conan and the Queen of the Black Coast, which is based on the short story of the same name. We've got our Conan here. There he is, 500 points worth of Conan. And as we discovered last time, that makes for a very capable character. Did I fail any rolls last time? I don't think I did. Which probably also helped. But to be fair, this is the version of Conan that was in this book, okay? So it's not like I'm bringing this version of Conan in to this adventure, um, you know, kind of my own volition. Describe his skills. Yes, ma'am. So, what does Conan have? He has, get that in the frame. Uh, he has area knowledge of a lot of different regions. He knows his stuff when it comes to weapons. He knows axe slash mace. He knows bow, brawling, broadsword. Um, he can shank you with a knife to the tune of 18. He's got an 18 skill in knife. Keep in mind and remember that GURPS is on a 3d6 bell curve. You roll 3d6 to roll equal to or under your skill. So basically, Conan uh, really almost can't lose. I mean, there are certain hard limits. If you roll like an 18, I think. Frankly, I've never had a character with a skill of 18, so if that comes up somehow in the game, I will double check whether or not an 18 is an automatic fail. I think it is. Anyway, he knows stealth at 18 because he's a stealthy, pantherish kind of guy. He can shank you with a spear as well. He can survive in the jungle, the mountains, the plains. He can swim. He can track. Oh, he's got two-handed sword. I didn't even know they had two-handed swords in the Hyborian Age, but apparently they do, and he knows how to use them. He can fast draw his arrows. He can fast draw his sword. He can even patch you up. He's got first aid. He can gamble. He can carouse with the best of them. He can even do some blacksmithing on the side, which I don't know if that's a little ode to the John Milius movie and his origins as the son of a smith. The Riddle of Steel. But anyway, that's Conan. Let's look at his advantages and disadvantages. He's got a bad temper. He's a fanatic for Bailet, phobia of magicians, reputation as a pirate, lots of different senses of duties to Bailet and all women, comrades. Who is Bailet, I hear you ask? Cat references 1. Yes, please keep count. Again, if you are just tuning in this week for the first time, you'll find out soon enough who Bailet is. So yeah, this is our guy, and I think I don't think there's any need to be terribly cautious. Yeah, who is not a fanatic? Indeed. All right, so let's get into it. And as I did when I replayed Greenwater Crimson Stag for Dragon Warriors, let me adjust the camera a little bit here. I am going to do some rereading as appropriate, but not necessarily reread everything. But yeah, so just as a reminder, we will sometimes be asked to keep track of our companions. There's a record sheet of the crew in the back here. There we go, still marked up from last time. And but we've got, you know, the main characters, I guess, up here, and then just a bunch of other crewmen. Because yeah, I mean, one thing we did do last time was we took a couple of away parties with us, a couple occasions. And yeah, we've got the morale rating that we have to pay attention to. So right off the bat here, let's write morale. And it's going to start at 0 if memory serves. Okay, we're also going to be keeping track of time. So we've got afternoon, evening, night, and morning. All right, here we go. Introduction. Adventure. Yes, how could we forget that? Introduction. Cursed be the day you ever entered Messantia. During your stay in the rollicking Argosian port, you ran afoul of the law, damned judge, actually ordering you imprisoned for failing to betray a friend to Argosian quote-unquote justice. At the time, jumping aboard the merchantman Argus seemed a good idea. Now, seeing the infamous pirate galley Tigris gaining on your ship, you're not so sure. The Tigris is the scourge of the coasts from Zingara to Kush. She's crewed by skilled Black Kingdom spearmen, who unquestioningly obey the commands of their leader, Bailet. You've heard the stories, of course. The sailors talk about the woman they call the Queen of the Black Coast. Some say she was once a Shemite slave. I think I had problems with that sentence last time. That is a tongue twister. Others say her forefathers were kings of Asgalan. All agree on 2 points, her ferocity and her beauty. Must be quite some woman, you think, to keep a crew of hardy pirates in line. The galley approaches within bow range. Soon they will close and board the Argus. Still, you'll not go down to hell without an escort of pirates. Taking up your bow, you search the quarterdeck of the Tigris for targets. There, that white figure amid the black ones, Bailet herself. Just one arrow shot, and at this range, you don't miss. A smooth draw, a quick sighting, and, following a nameless impulse, you drop the chieftain to Baelit's right. The pirates take up bows themselves and begin to return fire. Their aim is true. The Argus's helmsman falls in the first volley, the captain in the second. Without leadership, the crew shouts in panic and confusion. Up, lads, you shout. Never mind the oars. They'll catch us anyway. Take up your weapons, and let's give these dogs something to remember us by. Taking heart, the sailors manage one sparse volley of arrows before the Tigress's ram takes the merchantman. The grapnels fly, biting into the doomed ship's rail, and the vicious buccaneers pour over the side. It is slaughter. The pirates outnumber the remaining sailors 5-1 and are far better warriors. It is not your way to be butchered like a calf, however. Taking the initiative, you leap onto the now lightly manned galley. You are immediately surrounded by foes. No matter. They are unarmored and easy bait for your sword. Your superb armor is proof against their clubs and spears. Breaking free from the pack, you fight your way to the mast. 10 pirates die in mere moments, and many others fall sorely wounded. A tall sub-chief barks out commands, and the pirates pressing you withdraw, drawing arms back to cast their spears. Shrugging your mighty shoulders, you prepare to hurl yourself into their midst and die like a warrior. Hold! The shrill cry rings over the battle. The spearmen freeze in place. Baelit leaps in front, beating aside their points. Time seems to slow. She is a goddess, lithe yet voluptuous, rippling black hair, eyes like glowing black coals. This is the loveliest woman you have ever seen. Walking like a jungle cat, the ship is well named, you think, dazedly, she boldly moves up to you, careless of your blade. Who are you? She demands. I have sailed these coasts from Zuntal to Pictland, and never have I seen a man like you. You state your name, alert for any sudden moves. She is unarmed, save for a dagger. Yet her name is legend for 1,000 leagues, and she'd be dangerous no matter what. But you begin to believe that you have nothing to fear, not from this woman, not now. And my name, stranger. I am Baelit, she cried, as an empress might speak at her coronation. Look at me, stranger. I am queen of the Black Coast, ruler by fire and steel and slaughter. No man was worthy of me, none till now. Come with me, bold one. Follow me on this sea till world's end. I am queen. Be thou my king. Startled, you look about you. Join these pirates whose mates you've slaughtered? Yet, looking over the ranks of warriors, you see no signs of jealousy or anger. 'Twas all in good fun. You realize that Baelit's hold over these sea wolves is absolute, that to them she is more than a woman. Her commands are obeyed without question. You look at the Argus slowly sinking, littered with the bodies of her sailors. You look over the ocean and think of the glory, the riches, the adventures that might await. And above all, to quest at the side of this glorious woman? I'll sail with you, you growl, shaking the red drops from your blade. She leaps to your side, and you take her into your arms as a roar goes up from her crew. You have found your queen. The times are good. The tigress pillages the waves. The queen of the sea finally has a mate whose ferocity in war matches her cunning and sea skill. So long as there is gold to win, battles to fight, and Baelit at your side, what does it matter where the ship sails? You love the life. Turning south, you raid the coasts of the Black Kingdoms. The crew, however, has been heavily thinned by raiding. Turn to paragraph 1 and begin your adventure. All right. The morning is still young when the Tigress anchors. Nearby is the mouth of a broad, slow-moving river. Odd, you think. A river this large usually have a settlement at the mouth, but there is no sign of man. Only white beaches and the emerald jungle exist, as far as the eye can see. Baelit points to the sluggish, murky waters. That is the river's Arcaba. Once I was chasing a Stygian vessel down this coast, and it fled into the river mouth. Here I anchored and waited. Some days later, the ship drifted out of the river. When we boarded, we found her deserted. The decks were blood-stained, as if a great battle had been fought. One survivor we found, but he was raving something about winged demons, and he died a day later. She laughed. What did it matter what destroyed her crew? The cargo was intact, and none of my bold followers needed to die to take it. But it set me to thinking. What was up the river? She has aroused your curiosity. And, you ask, I have listened to the tales the sailors tell. Some, despite the deadliness of the river and the legends, have dared to sail some length upriver. They have glimpsed far off purpled towers and ramparts. My love, there is a great city or ruin on that river. We fear nothing. Let us go sack that city. All right. So last time we pointed out the depletion of our crew. So this time we're all in. Sounds good to me. Loot the city of the ancients, perhaps? By all the gods, there'd be enough treasure to make an emperor groan in delight. Afire with eagerness, you quickly agree to Balet's plan and bark out orders to the sailors to make ready for the trip. All right, turn to 221. Alrighty. All right. I think we all just groaned in delight, Kenny. It's true. Put that up on the big board. There we go. All right. The Tigris rounds the bend into the Zarkeba. Rowers taking up the beat to forge against the sluggish flow. The jungle soon blocks out much of the morning sunlight, leaving a pallid glow to illuminate the ship's passing. The waters are clouded and unusually dark. The waters of the Zarkeba are poisonous, says Baled. Nothing can abide them but the serpents of the river. The Subas avoid the river and claim it is accursed. The sounds normally heard in a jungle are ominously absent. No animal comes to the bank to drink. No bird flies overhead. The only signs of life are on the river's sandbars, where reptiles wholly unknown to old Inyaga's lore writhe. Baled orders the helmsman to keep a long distance from the sandbars. Set the current time to afternoon. Okay. Afternoon it is. All right, and turn to 29. All right, so the crew's morale is 0, and the current time is afternoon. So we're going to 18. Roll 1 die. Okay, so here's where already we're getting into some, possible branches here, some narrative branches. Let's see. Nope, I rolled the exact same thing I rolled last time. Let's roll something else. Nope, still rolling 3. I guess it's meant to be. Okay. 134. While securing a stay, a crewman loses his balance and plunges into the poisonous waters of the river. All right, this gives me a chance to make up for last week where I didn't dive in immediately after him. The crewman shrieks in terror as he tries to swim back to the ship. Quickly, buccaneers swarm the rails, preparing rescue measures. All right, let's jump in and save him. You leap to the rail, tensing mighty muscles to dive in after the corsair. No, my love, shrieks Balet. The Zarkeba is death to enter. Let my sailors handle this. Okay, so do we ignore her and jump in anyway, reconsider and try to find a safer means of aiding the crewmen, or obey and let the crewmen rescue the man? What do we think, folks? Mighty muscles indeed. I know. I'm tensing them. Jump! Don't listen to your wife. Wait, my real life wife or Balet? Conan's wife. Wait. Jump. All right. Let's do this. All right, we're going to ignore her and jump in anyway. Okay. Leaping from the rail, you dive into the Zarkeba. The water feels oddly viscous. Oh, God. So it's just like a river of dog saliva, basically. As you swim towards the pirate, roll against your health at a -3. Add 1 if you have swimming at 15 or better. Subtract 3 if you can't swim at all. Wow, that would have been quite the move. All right. No Corsair left behind. That's right. Okay, so I have swimming at a 15. Very good. Very good. All right, so I get to add 1, and my health is a, oops, told myself I wasn't going to jostle the camera, and I lied. Okay, my health is a 15, rolling at a -2 to that. means I have to roll a 13 or less. And that's a 10. All right. But I have to see how much I made the roll by. I made it by 3, so I made the roll by 4 or less, as it says here. So turning to 69. I doubt this will be very nice. You quickly realize your mistake. The strength leaches out of you into the evil water. You barely make it back to the ship, and the sailors must drag you out. Take 1d damage to your health and lose 1 point of health for the remainder of the adventure. Subtract 1 from the crew's morale rating. Oh, brutal. All right. Morale is a -1. And let's see. So health is temporarily reduced to 14. Ow. And I took, it was an odd way of phrasing it. I took 6 points of damage. So, yeah, I called it, didn't I? They said 1D, and I said 6 points. And yeah, I called it. All right, so I guess I am down. Now, here's the thing. They told me to take 1d of damage first before reducing my health by 1 point. So I am down to 9 hit points. Okay. Conan got Giardia. Okay. Turn to 64. Here we go. Come on now. Okay. Advance the current time by 1 watch. Note this time on your scratch sheet. It is now evening. Okay, turn to 29. That was a nice Conan we had once. Yeah. That's what happens when you don't listen to your wives, fellas. All right. So we are back at our little staging ground here, and the current time is evening, and morale is not -6 or less. So we can turn to 137. Roll 1 die. A 2. All right, 215. Didn't tell me if I rescued that sailor or not. All right. One of the crewmen cries out, pointing to the sky. As your eyes adjust to the gloom, you note a large winged shadow soaring overhead. It doesn't look like a bird. For one thing, it's far too big. All right, I can try to shoot it down, observe it further, or ignore it. I mean, come on. We've got a bow. We've got arrows. I think we got to try to take this thing out, right? Put an arrow in its gob. Let's do it. Okay. They spent time saving my muscular ass. Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right. The creature is at a height of 30 hexes and is traveling at a speed of 14. If you aim for 1 or 2 seconds before shooting, turn to 150. If you aim for 3 seconds, turn to 223. If you shoot without aiming, calculate your modifiers from the table on B201. Then roll to hit. The creature dodges on a roll of 8 or less. Okay, so there's a lot of GURPS speak in that passage. I'm glad we're getting a little bit more into the system this week. This is good. So, yeah, so GURPS, I think Steve Jackson just had a thing for hex mats and hexagons. GURPS maps always use hexes. Let me see if I can find one here. There we go. This is from the adventure that comes in the basic set. You can see there, good old combat map on hexes. So yeah, so 1 hex equals 1 yard. So really what they're saying there is the creature's 30 yards away. Okay, so then what we have to do, check this out. We consult the speed range table, baby. Look at that. Oh yeah. So so we have to look at the speed and the range. So it's 30 yards away. Okay, and it's moving at a speed of 14, which we would bump up to the next highest interval there, which is a 15. So we would combine those two, right? And that's a -12 modifier. All right. Hey, Harrison. Yeah, hex map superiority. Absolutely. So my bow skill is a 16. And what did we say there? A negative 12. So that gives me a chance of 4 or less on 3d6. Not great. So I can aim. So aiming, as you might expect, gives me bonuses. The longer I do it, the more bonuses I accrue. So if I spend combat turns in GURPS are 1 second long. Okay, that's how granular the system is. But if I spend one turn, aka 1 second, aiming, the bow has among its stats something called accuracy, or AC, as it's rendered. And so I'll assume I have a regular bow here. So we have our stats there. Okay. And so a regular bow has an AC of 2. Okay. So if I spend 1 second aiming, I go from a 4 to a 6. And then you can aim for up to 3 seconds. So it says if you aim for 1 or 2 seconds before shooting, turn to 150. So obviously it would be foolish of me not to spend at least 2 seconds aiming. Each turn of aiming after the first, you just add a further 1. So that would take me from a 6 to a 7. If I aim for 3 seconds, I'd be at an 8. Right. Yeah, I'm thinking 3 seconds, it might get away. I know, I'm sorry. There's it is crunchy, but there's not a lot of cross-referencing going on. It's true. For that, we would need to be playing Rollmaster, most likely. Yeah, let's give it 2 seconds. I'll have a chance of 7 or less, but let's turn to 150 first and foremost. See what it has to say. You'd better shoot quickly, you think, otherwise the chance might be lost. Add 2 to your effective bow skill for aiming. Is that on top of the accuracy, or is that just telling me to add the accuracy? I feel like I could use all the help I could get, so I'm gonna read that literally and think that in addition to the modifiers, right? I'm cheesing it a little bit, I'll admit. When you play these solo games, you gotta give yourself as many breaks as you can. So that's an 8 or less. I rolled an 8. Aren't I glad I took that +2 bonus? Okay, it had a dodge of 8 or less as well. Let's give it a chance to dodge. 11, no. Okay, great. So I hit 77. The +2 might have been for its size modifier, actually, because let's see. Yeah, that's if it's a 3 yards long. So that'd be like a 9-foot creature. We'll go with that. Okay, so we hit the thing. Your shot flies true. The arrow plunges into the monster's breast. To the raucous cheers of the crew, it plummets into the river, sinking swiftly. You unstring your bow, smiling grimly. If it can harm you, you say to the crowd, it can be harmed with honest steel. I haven't met a monster yet who withstood blade or bow. Add 2 to the crew's morale rating. There we go. Now we're back in the black. Morale of 1. And turn to 64. Advance the current time by 1 watch. Note this time on your scratch sheet. It is now night. Okay. And turn to 29. Of course. Okay. And we're going to then turn to 210. It's nighttime. Okay. And I suspect we're going to roll a die, although memory serves, they change it up on you at some point. But nope. We're going to roll a die. Okay. Crew loves me. I'd love me. A 3. Did we get that last time? We might have. We'll know in a minute. Can't roll a 6 to save my life on these random encounters. You approach an off-duty oarsman, offering him a mug of weak native beer. Damn. All right. Ho, Yasunga, you say. A drink of this will take their fatigue away. Make a reaction roll, adding all modifiers you have with the crew. If the roll is good or better, turn to 162. All right, let's see here. I have a +2 for my charisma. And do I get any bonuses for my sense of duty? I might. Let's see here. Oh, I think it notes it here on the crew sheet. Reaction to Conan. Oh, for my loyalty to Baylet, I get a +2. Okay, cool. So, by the way, Baylet's rocking a +11 on her reaction rolls. Here, have some of this. How do you say swill? All right, so let's see. What did it tell me to do there? Okay. Uh-oh. First time I've lost my place. Not too bad, though. I just found it. All right, B205. B stands for basic set, by the way, folks. GURPS uses a kind of a cross-reference system of referring between books by their abbreviation. So Conan might be C or CO. All right. Okay, so we're adding a +4. So we got a pretty good shot at impressing this dude. By the way, here is the mighty reaction table. The higher I roll, the better. So basically in GURPS, it's always a roll low on skill rolls. And then for damage and reactions, it's always a roll high. So it's a little, like nowadays they would just be like, no, it must always be one or the other. But it makes sense to me. All right. 12 plus 4 is a 16. That is a very good reaction. We're in. He obviously takes my referring to his beer as swill as a good-natured ribbing rather than the drive-by that it actually is. Okay. Yasunga is the youngest of the oarsmen, barely 16 years old. Oh, God, he's dead. He's as good as dead. Okay. But already a blooded warrior. He takes the flagon gratefully, taking a long pull and wiping his lips. Dambala's blood, my friend. I needed that. Almost as much as the rest, he confides. You eye his sunken face and ask, Too long without a break, Yasunga? He shrugs. The great queen has had us rowing all day. We can row for a great while yet. Aye, and fight too, but the crew would be better for a rest, you interject. I'll see what I can do. Oh, I'll see to it. Yeah, Conan wouldn't say I'll see what I can do. He's like, okay, say no more. I got this. Taking your leave of Yasunga, you walk to the quarterdeck and convince Baylet to anchor the Tigress for an hour. Wow, that was easy. Add 1 to all reaction rolls of the crew to you. All right, so we will. Yeah, wearing a red shirt for sure. This plucky youth will survive the adventure, no doubt. +1 crew reaction. Okay. There we go. All right, turn 64. I think last time I had a nice philosophical conversation with Baylet, which was nice. It was nice. All right, advance the current time by 1 watch. It's morning. I'm liking the replayability though. Like this is already a very different experience from last time. All right. I'll express your concerns to the management. All right, time is morning. How the hell does your crew's morale end up at a -6? Maybe I don't want to know. Over the tops of the trees, you see towers looming in the distance. Finally, the lost city and its riches. Calling Baylet to your side, you point out the spires. Her mouth wide in excitement, she calls for the crew to make ready and arm themselves. Add 1 to the crew's morale. And turn to 129. Nice. All right. The Tigris clears a wide, overgrown point in the river. The city beckons beyond. Once it must have been splendid, with wide plazas, tall buildings, and broad avenues. Now it is a ruin. Weeds and grasses split the paving blocks of the streets. The wharves that could birth a fleet lie shattered. Mighty towers sway drunkenly against the stark sky. Everywhere, the jungle encroaches on the remains. In the middle of the city stands a marble pyramid, topped by a column. There is a dark statue surmounting the column. Make a vision roll. Oh, yes, we all know what's up there. Crom. I'm still at 6 hits, or 6 hit points down. I'm going to go a little bit off track here and try and first aid myself. Let's see here. Let's find the rules for that real quick. As I discussed last week, 4th edition GURPS has been out for over 20 years now. So, although 3rd edition is very similar in many ways. Oh, look at that. Wait a minute. Look at that. It's Conan binding his own wounds. Hell yeah. All right. I'm assuming that's Conan. Anyway, so yes, I can't be entirely sure what has changed. All right, simple bandaging, even done by a totally unskilled person, will restore 1 lost hit point per fight, but no more, no matter how badly you were hurt. This takes 30 minutes per victim. Otherwise, I can roll first aid, restoring a variable number of hit points depending on the tech level, first aid skill, and the degree of success. A minimum of 1 hit point is always restored. This is not cumulative with simple bandaging, i.e. sometimes first aid is no more effective than plain bandaging. Okay, so I'm going to roll my first aid. 14 or less. Yep, got it. Okay, and so GURPS uses tech levels, which, other games like Traveler also use. Kind of mandatory if you have a universal system where you could travel through time or whatever. So the world of GURPS Conan, the Hyborian world, is tech level 3, which is kind of equivalent to medieval. And that restores 1d minus 3 hit points, minimum of 1. Go! All right, 1 point. Okay, well, hey. Now I'm only down 5. Okay. All right, so we're making a vision roll. That's based off my IQ in 3rd edition. And I have alertness plus 3. So 16 or less. Whoa. So 15. Needed that alertness there. Okay, let's see here. Okay, making a vision roll. Where were we? Oh, I can see the check boxes there for exploring the city. We'll get back to that. Let's see. Making a vision roll. Oh God, I really should mark the page here. Let's see. Tigress clears, no. Long labor, no. Sliding, no. Hyena. There's a hyena. Let's see. Panting, no. Okay. Make a vision roll, no. Good Lord. Fast talk, no. I'm seeing a lot of entries that are ending with your adventure is over. And yeah, I don't like that. Let's see. Nope, I thought that was it. Roll 1 die. Where the hell did it go? I feel like I've completely lost my place now. Oh God, it's my worst nightmare. All right, let's see. Bear with me, folks. Bear with me. Okay, let's see. Nope. Limits of your explanations. Nope. Okay. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. All right. It's always really obvious once I find it. It's literally right in front of me. Okay. 202. Your keen vision spots movement from the shape atop the column. It seems to be alive. As the crew watches, it unfolds huge wings and flies off into the jungle. And Yaga shakes his head. A winged ape, or some manner of demon. We should never have come here. I'm giving him kind of an anime voice this time. This place is surely accursed. Balit scoffs at the shaman's superstition and orders the galley tied up at one of the intact wharves. Okay, turning to 20. Balit is the first to disembark from the ship. Her eyes sparkle as she surveys the ruins. You are close behind, followed by the rest of the crew. The brooding silence of the necropolis deadens the spirit of all save Balit, it seems. You grip your weapon as if to reassure yourself. Baylet notices your nervousness and pokes you gently in the arm. Why so gloomy? She laughs. So the place is deserted. Is that so bad? The plunder's all the easier to take. She waves to the spearman. Come along, let's explore. Make an IQ roll. Okay. 13 or less. All right. Succeeded. Which one is the smooching number? I don't remember. Yeah. Missed out on that. Missed out on the smooching. All right. 93. Wait, you say to Baylet. Let's not leave the ship unwatched. I'll send some men to keep an eye on her. Roll against Baylet's IQ of 12. Yes. She succeeds. Turn to 239. It's funny, some sentences are easier to do in this like horrible fake Arnie accent, and others are not as easy. Good idea, Baylet says. Do it. With a command, you send the men off. Select 10 men to guard the Tigress. You have the plot word guarded. Okay. Our first plot word. Guarded. All right. I marked the 10 men last week, and they are still marked, so off they go. Let's see here. Turn to 47. Baylet sends you and a picked team off to search for loot. Select your men. You may take no more than 10, including as many as 2 sub-chiefs, and note this on your crew record sheet. Oh, those were the guys, actually. When you are finished, turn to 120. Okay, so I have to select the other 10 men. I mean, they all have the exact same freaking stats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm going to send crewmen numbers 71 through 80 to guard the ship. We're taking 2 sub-chiefs and 8 other crewmen, numbers 1 through 8, with us. Okay. But yeah, so I'm not sure why. Well, see, I'm thinking that that there are certain paths here where a lot of people start dying, because that's what happens in the story. So all right. Let's see here. So we're gonna head off and where the hell did I go? Uh-oh, I lost my place again. Damn it. This is ridiculous. Okay, let's see here. So I'm selecting some crewmen and we are heading off. Let's see here. No. Tops of the trees. Yeah, okay. The box difficult to open. Nope. Jungle lizard. Nice. Let's see here. Okay. Select 10 men. Nope. Don't recognize. Oh, flowers. Oh God. I just remembered some of the ways this could go. All right. I'm not going to drop too many spoilers. Don't worry. All right. Let's see here. So selecting crewmen. See, every single time I lose my place, I'm like, I don't need to like put my finger on the entry. I'll remember. Let's see here. Select your man. There we go. Number 47. Okay. When you are finished, turn to 120. Team cannon fodder. Yeah, absolutely. They're all special in their own way. Certainly. All right. Oh, yes, of course. This is the exploring the city thing. All right. So remember, there are 4 things we can explore. But as soon as we get to the 4th thing, we have to turn to another entry. So we can really only explore 3. Walking through the ruins requires care. The paving stones are cracked and overgrown by weeds and grasses, and footing is uneven at best. Your wary eye also notices that the cover is excellent. If there are lurkers waiting in ambush, they'll be hard to spot. You resolve to keep alert. While the city is largely ruined, there are several intact landmarks. Choose which building you wish to search. Make a mark in the box next to the entry and turn to that paragraph. You may only choose an entry with an unmarked box. As you mark the 4th box, erase all the marks and turn immediately to 55. Oh, I didn't erase the marks last time. Only turn to 55 once. If you return to this paragraph after you've been to 55, do not mark the boxes and do not return to 55. You may continue to explore the city freely. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so there is a chance you could come back and search the 4th one. That's good to know. You may also choose to leave the city. If you decide you have enough treasure and wish to leave the city, turn to 269. If you decide to leave the city even though you don't have very much treasure, turn to 229. Okay, well, of course, we're not going to do that. Okay, so I think the last time we started with the docks, and that was actually very fruitful. And if memory serves, the one place we didn't check were the buildings. So let's do the buildings first. Let's see, mark this. Buildings. Okay, 149. Which to explore, you think to yourself, because obviously I don't have an accent when I'm thinking to myself. There are so many of them. Finally, you choose one of the buildings at random. Roll one die and turn to the paragraph indicated. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. 3. Wow, I just keep rolling 3s. That is turned to 184. In the demolished ruins of what must have once been a sumptuous villa, you see the helmsman poking gingerly at a granite wall. Ho, Master Gwaitha, you call. What have you there? The corsair rubs his chin. I think it is a small door built into the wall. You should look. Were you not a thief once? Yes, I took 3 levels in thief before I multi-classed into barbarian. All right. Well, maybe you've dabbled in burglary once or twice, but it's nothing you brag about. I climbed the Tower of the Elephant. I think that does deserve some recognition. Still, you examine the smooth, weathered stone. There does seem to be a door of some sort. That seam there. Yes. You work enough dust and silt out of the cracks with a dagger to expose a small door. Make a traps TL3 roll. Some skills are tied to tech levels. Yes, it is for the course to decide. Okay, I don't have traps. Uh-oh. Defaults to IQ -5 or Dex -5. Okay, obviously we'll choose Dex. So that's a 10 or less. 13. I did not succeed. Wow, my first failure. Can't believe it. You look for traps but find none. It's perfectly safe. Gonna open the door. Let's do it. The door swings open, and you hear the sound of shattering porcelain inside. A small puff of purplish mist comes from the recess. Make a dex roll. Jesus. Look, it's a 15 or less. Okay, thank God. All right, I succeeded. Whew. Staring at the wall from the ground on which you flung yourself, you watch the fine mist blow away in the breeze. Breathing a sigh of relief, you and your companions rise and brush off your clothes. Yeah, not good. Not good. If you look into the recess, of course. I mean, that was surely the only trap. Inside the hole, the light glints off a metallic object. You reach in to remove a long, glittering knife. Holding it to the sun, you marvel at its beauty. It is like no other knife you've seen before. Jet black metal, beautifully fashioned, with a razor-keen blade. It fits snug and heavy in your hand. A marvelous weapon, you remark, showing the weapon to Gwaithar. Gwaithar nods. Aye, that blade was made by a master. Note the find on your sheet. It is a large knife, finely made, with a +1 added to both swinging and thrusting damage. It is also unbreakable and cannot shatter under any circumstances, including critical failures. Wow, nice. That's pretty nice. All right, so we'll say finely made dagger. And whoops, wrong line. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. Finely made dagger. And we'll just make a note that we get a +1/+1 on the impale and the cut damage. Okay. And if we need to, we can copy the stats down, but I don't think so. Okay. So we have got this finely made dagger, and we are going to turn to 120. Yeah, that will impress Baylet, no doubt. Hey, Baylet, check out this cool knife I found. All right. Ladies love knife guys. Okay. So let's see. We can examine the pyramid. We can explore one of the many towers or search the dockside area. What do folks think? What should we do next? Should we... I mean, we kind of know a little bit, so it's a little, maybe a better way to ask would be, what do we not want to explore? What is the LL Cool KG? I love it. What is the location we don't care to explore this time around? Pyramid, one of the many towers, or the dockside area? Yeah, also we don't want to explore our feelings. That's true. That is true. Any strong opinions? Otherwise, I'll just randomize it. I'll just roll a d3. We don't want to explore the docks. Go cruising. Okay. Oh, okay. So you're saying you want to do the docks next. Okay. Okay. Cool. Whatever leads to more ape. Sadly, we don't know. We don't know. Okay, let's do the docks next. You scout the crumbling wharves and warehouses with no success. As you search, a messenger finds you. Baylet thinks she's found something important. Over here, she beckons as you approach. You face a row of columns leading to a high, tottering tower. In front of the tower is a huge stone slab. Traces of massive walls surround the columns. The ruin is huge, impressive, and vaguely sinister. It must have been the temple of the city, Baylet says. Okay, so we can examine the tower, examine the pillars, examine the slab, argue against disturbing the temple, choose each option once only. When you've done all these things, turn to 81. Okay, well, we might as well just go in order. And I'll make a note, number 8. I'm sure it'll direct us back, but still. All right. The tower looms over the slab, thrusting defiantly into the naked sky. Make a roll against your IQ or engineer TL3, if any skill, whichever is higher. I do not have engineer. I don't even need to look at my character sheet. All right, I made my IQ roll. Turn to 192. You walk toward the tower. It doesn't take much to realize it is quite rickety and might be in danger of collapse. That tower is quite rickety and might be in danger of collapse. As you examine the tower more closely, you notice it is covered with frescoes of winged beings making sacrifices of writhing men to their dark gods. This is surely an evil place. All right, examining the pillars next. 73. There are 10 marble pillars, which undoubtedly held up the temple's roof. After some minutes of examination, you are satisfied that there are no secret niches by them where treasure might lie. Certainly. Let's examine the slab. You examine the slab of granite. It must have been the altar of the temple. The discolorations from centuries of hellish rites still remain. 1,000 years of rain has not washed it clean, muses Baylet. Okay, we can examine the altar further, of course. Roll IQ +2, adding any levels of alertness you may have, so it's an 18 or less. Thank God for that bonus. I rolled a 16. Okay, if you succeed, yes. That was almost high enough for me to have to go and look to see what an automatic failure is when your effective skill is an 18 or better. After a moment's examination, you find sets of handholds on each side, oddly unsuited for human hands. Baylet leaps up, smiling. The temple loot may be under that altar. Some of you, grab those handholds and try to lift it. Make a roll against Baylet's IQ of 12. She makes it. 54. As you grip the altar, Balit shrieks. Everyone freezes except you. Whipping around, weapon drawn, you look questioningly at her. There is a serpent in the weeds here. Come and kill it. She waves at the corsairs. The rest of you lift that altar. Irritated squealing about snakes is out of character for Balit. You scan the grass for the snake. In the meantime, the warriors heave at the altar. It doesn't lift, but instead shifts, and at the same time, the tower above crashes down on them without a moment's notice. Aghast, the other spearmen rush to the pile of masonry. Balit holds you back. I lied, she whispers. There's no snake. I feared a trap. Let us clear away the stones. What the hell happens if she fails her IQ roll? Do you get crushed by the tower? After long labor, the rubble is cleared away, and the mangled bodies of your comrades borne to their death place. A great stone lid is uncovered, concealed beneath the altar. Well, go ahead, snaps Balit. One trap's enough for any treasure. Get it open. That's what I say. That's my motto. You can put that on a t-shirt. Two sailors obey and bend to the task. She's not a great boss. And yet she always wins Boss of the Year award from her crew. It's weird. The blaze of color as the lid is moved aside is almost blinding. The pit is filled with jewels. A king's ransom. No, even a god's ransom. Diamonds, moonstones, opals, rubies, gems of all kinds, catching the light of the day and turning it to liquid flame. Crying out with wonder, Balit leaps into the pit, swimming in the stones. She extracts a priceless treasure, a golden necklace strung with huge rubies. The pirate queen's eyes are dazzled as she regards the plunder. Make a litter and take the jewels to the ship, she says huskily. I tried to do husky last time. It didn't work. Amazed at the colossal fortune, you watch for intruders as Balit supervises the taking of the gems. The find is, for all practical purposes, priceless. Such a find would be worth $5 million dues, at least. Note the gems on your scratch sheet and add 3 to the crew's morale rating. All right. 5 million. Adding 3 to morale is a 5. Absolutely, just backstroking through the gold. All right. 120. Okay. So we have done the docks. We did the buildings. I remember the pyramid was kind of a letdown, so let's do the towers. 260. Aussie dollars. That's right. Dollary dues, as they're called officially. All right. There are many towers in varying states of repair. Which one to inspect? Blast it. None looks much different from the rest. Dice for it? Says Ingora, smiling. Why not? You reply. It sounds as good as anything else. Roll 1 die. A 3 again. What the hell? It's like all I roll on these random rolls here. You search diligently through a cluster of ruined towers, but find nothing except rubble, debris, and stone shards. If there's loot in the city, it isn't here. The pyramid did suck, yeah. All right. Okay, so turning immediately to 55. Okay, we have the plot word guarded, but not the plot word victory. Okay. Where do you get victory? All right. 128. In the midst of your explorations, you hear a horrible scream from the direction of the wharf. Look, cries one of the spearmen in your group, pointing toward the ship. Another vessel? Snarls Balit, whirring around. No, that way, you reply. From the prow of the Tigress, a dark shape rises, soaring into the jungle. The winged one is spying on us, mutters Inyaga. What of it? asks Balit. The men on board drove it away. Where are you going? To check the galley, you say. If the guards drove it away, why haven't they signaled? We don't know what happened. What if it attacked the ship? Taking 5 pirates and rushing to the Tigress, you spring aboard. There, sprawled on the deck, are the bodies of the watchmen, torn apart by a powerful clawed hand. Okay, so we can examine the vessel, rush back to inform Balit and take my men with me and remove the plot word guarded, remain aboard the ship, or leave the 5 behind and report to Balit. So I think last time we left the 5 behind and went to report to her. Let's see. I want to examine the vessel. Let's give it a look. Deisegetic. No, I don't know. I think guarded is a good keyword, frankly, because we need to remain on guard, right? This thing's hunting us. It's hunting us for sport. Make an IQ roll, adding any levels of acute vision or alertness you have. Okay. So remind myself here, that'd be a 15 or less. Okay, that's an 11. Turning to page 9, or number 9, I mean. Be kind of hilarious to try and do this adventure with like a standard 100-point character. I don't think you'd last very long. Ignoring the curses of the sailors. Man, what the fuck is wrong with you? You examine the bodies more closely. You realize that the deck is spotted in several places with dark blood, far darker than that shed by the pirates. Curious, you glance at the spearheads of the victims. 2 of them are coated in the same fluid. So it can be hurt by steel, you realize. That should help. Yeah, well, we already realized that. I shot one of those dudes out of the sky. Leaving the 5 behind with orders to clear the decks and keep a lookout for the creature, you rush back to Baylet and tell her the news. Listen, all of you, you say to the crewman. It may be a killer, but whatever it is, it may be hardy and clever, but it can be slain. See the proof? You throw the blood-stained spears at the cobblestones. Their clattering echoes in the silence. Oh yeah, this is the Conan Predator crossover we all wanted. So take heart, men. If it comes again, let's greet it with steel. Add 1 to the crew's morale rating. Oh, damn. Getting it up to a 6. What did we have last time? It wasn't that much. Oh, wait. I think I tossed out the page. Oh, well. I don't think we got to a 6. Okay. Add 1 to the crew's morale rating. Note that in any future encounter with the winged one, it has suffered 6 hit points of damage. When you are done, turn to 120. All right. Winged one, -6 hits. Okay. If it bleeds, we can kill it. Absolutely. All right. Oh, wait. We're going back to 120? Let's just make sure I got that right. Yep. Back to 120. Okay. Okay. So we can check out the pyramid. We may also choose to leave the city. If we decide we have enough treasure and wish to leave the city, turn to 269. If we decide to leave the city, even though we don't have very much treasure, turn to 229. Okay, so we have $5 million in treasure. Is that enough? Or do we want to keep searching? Because really, we know that the pyramid's going to be, I mean, we're metagaming here, okay? We know the pyramid's going to be kind of a meh. So there's really not going to be much there. I can't say in all honesty that we don't have very much treasure, because that's literally how it's worded. If you decide to leave the city, even though you don't have very much treasure, I suspect if we do that, Baylet's going to try and talk me out of it, right? Yeah, is it enough for Baylet? Exactly. Yeah, we could have a pizza party in the Tigress's break room. That's true. If I decide we have enough treasure, see, it's my decision, right? So I'm gonna go for that, but I'm gonna put my finger here, mark the page in case this is an abrupt ending. Yep. Okay, this is the ending we got last time. You found treasure enough for this trip and head back to civilization. You store the loot on the Tigress, turn to 183. All right, screw that. We're gonna keep pushing. 229. All right. Wait a minute. Okay, see, we're leaving anyway. All right. What the hell's going on around here? I want my ape man. How do I get my ape man? Come on. All right, I guess we'll check out the pyramid. I'm going to push for something here. The pyramid is made of old weathered granite. On one face, 2 narrow stairways ascend to its peak. You ascend the steps, snorting. This heap of rocks is ridiculously small compared to the huge edifices in Stygia, which you've pillaged. On the landing on top, an altar once stood. Strange discolorations appear here and there, hinting at long-forgotten dark rites. Atop the pyramid is a marble column high as a ship's mast. There's a pedestal capping the column, where a statue might have once rested. Well, start looking around, you tell your search party. There must be an entrance into this thing somewhere. I'll wager there's loot to be found here. Roll 2 dice, add 1 if you have alertness. That is a 10 or more. Barely. All right, 33. Ooh, we might actually find something this time. A careful search of the pyramid's base reveals a weathered door. Nice. All right, inspect the door for traps, open the door, decide not to look for loot here. Pshaw. Well, let's give it a, we didn't find the trap last time, but that doesn't mean we can't try again. All right. IQ -5 since I don't have the trap skill. Failed again. God. Oh no. You diligently search for traps, needles, or any hazard, but the intricate carvings on and around the door totally baffle you. I'm baffled. All right, let's try to force the door open. I'm sure it's fine. How many things can be trapped in one city, I ask you? After some prying and pulling, the stone door slides to one side to reveal a dusty passageway. It is quite narrow. Anyone entering must crouch and travel single file. We're going in. The passageway is very narrow, less than 3 feet wide, and difficult to traverse. It slants downward at a sharp angle. After perhaps 20 feet, the passage levels off onto a landing. Wow, whole dungeon level. This is crazy. Wizard dungeons are lousy with monkey men. That's true. That's true. Or wizard mansions, yes. All right. So, let's see here. A short distance beyond the landing, you can see a doorway in the dim light. Note on your sheet whether or not you have your weapon drawn. Okay. So I think I'm gonna have my fancy dagger out. I'm gonna be like holding a reverse grip, right? Like ready to shank someone who comes up on me. If you have night vision, intuition, or danger sense. Okay, I know I have night vision and danger sense. Haha. Make a roll against your IQ. Otherwise, roll against IQ -5. Ouch. All right, IQ 13 or less. What? A 16? Oh, God. Okay, this is it. This is the end of Conan. No, it's not. Okay. The floor rips beneath you as you try to cross it. It is made of papier-mâché. Make a dex roll. If you have the acrobatic skill at higher than your dex, roll against that instead. No, I do not. If you are holding a weapon, subtract 4 from the roll. It's just a dagger. Come on. You may drop your weapon to avoid this penalty. Oh, God. If you do so, your weapon is lost for the rest of the adventure. No way, man. I'm holding on to this finely made dagger even if it kills me. All right, 11 or less. Come on, we can do this. We can do this. No, we can't. A 16 again. My God. Well, I mean, consolation there is even if I had dropped my dagger, I still would have failed that roll. Oh boy, this is it. This has to be it. This has to be it. Yep. Missing with your frantic try for a grip, you plummet into the pit, landing on a bed of tapered stone spikes. The defenses of the ancient tomb have claimed another victim. Your adventure is over. All right, folks, we're barely just over an hour into this adventure. Normally, I do wrap it up when a character meets their end, but we need to get to our monkey man. We need our monkey man. So I'm gonna I kept my finger on the page. We're gonna pretend I made that roll, and we're just gonna keep going. Twisting quickly, pantherishly perhaps, you grasp the edge of the pit and hoist yourself up on the other side. That was close. Oh wait, I'm thinking this. That was close, you think to yourself. Involuntarily, you peer into the gloom of the pit, seeing the pointed stone spikes that your body was meant to decorate. Ooh, brutal. All right. Yeah, we can't. After the disappointment of Frogtown, we need monkeys. We need flying apes. The darkness envelops you as you enter through the doorway. Wait a minute. Let's see here. I think that was correct, right? 75. Yeah, that was right. Stumbling about, your hand touches a hard metal object, a torch cresset. Taking out flint and steel, you light the torch. The glow reflects back at you. The chamber is filled with bars of gold. There are 50 ingots, each weighing 10 pounds. The tomb you expected to find is not here. Crafty devils, you say. Why bother jamming dead bodies in here when the important thing is to protect the loot? Each bar is worth $15,000, making the hoard's total worth a colossal $750,000. Yes. Note the treasure on your scratch sheet. Okay. If you have the plot word defended, turn to 268. We do not. All right. So 750K. Otherwise, turn to 120. Okay. Interesting. So it bumped us back to the choice point there. We've examined the pyramid. We've examined everything else. And our only choice left is to leave the city. Okay. And as I determined earlier, we leave the city one way or the other. Wow. So I guess that is the end of the adventure. My God. All right, let's just play it out here. Maybe we get ambushed by apes. Who knows? I was just making an assumption. Okay. You found a treasure enough for this trip and head back to civilization. You store the loot in the Tigris, turn to 183. Come on, monkey ambush. Nope. The sail snaps out with the sea breeze as the Tigris leaves the river's mouth and turns into the broad ocean. With a delighted laugh, Beilit playfully drapes a rope of pearls across your shoulder. And what now, my hero? We have all the wide world to plunder. Shall it be the coast of Argos, or Zingara, or dark Stygia itself? You smile and ease the jewels around her slim white throat. Who cares? It matters naught to me whither we go from here. Just so long as the wind fills our sail, and there are foes for our steel, and you be with me. I'll ask nothing of the gods. This adventure is over. Turn to 270. Congratulations, you have survived the adventure. If you escape with more than half the original crew, I'm pretty sure I did, award yourself 1 character point. If Beilit is still alive, award yourself 1 character point. For every significant cache of treasure uncovered, earn 1 character point. Okay, so that's 4 so far. And if you have the plot word victory, I do not. Deduct 1 character point if the crew's morale rating drops below -5. No. As well as for each of the following plot words: cautious, solitude, and grief. Okay, so we got 4 character points this time. I think we only had, 1 or 2 last time. Okay. Yeah, Heisenberg's Monkey Man, indeed. It was anticlimactic. It was anticlimactic last week, too. I mean, I like this adventure. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, it does have a high replayability value. I just feel like if you're basing an adventure on a short story, it should be a little easier to find the plot of that short story so that you can see how you do up against the plot of the story, because there's this whole other plot that happens in the story with black lotus flowers and monkey men and you fight a monkey man, and then Beilit's ghost comes back and saves you. I mean, yes, I did shoot the flying ape out of the sky. Maybe that was the only one. No, but there was a flying ape that killed the crew, so there were at least 2. Yeah, what am I supposed to do to get in the weird shiz? If it bleeds, we can somehow avoid it. Exactly. You need the fan service of the proper references so the folks with inside knowledge are satisfied. Absolutely, I agree. So there are 4 Conan adventures, solo adventures total. This is my first one that I played. Let's see. Out of a total of possible 5 crams, I would give this one 3.5 crams. And yeah, maybe play it again. But I don't want to repeat myself too much. So but yeah, so that's Conan and the Queen of the Black Coast. But I think I'll pick up the other 3. These are all available as print on demand volumes, and I'll pick up the other 3. And this is going to be the last stream in this series. I'm going to take a little bit of a break, but I think I will return. And when I do, we'll do more Conan, because this was fun. And it was definitely, I enjoyed the Dragon Warriors ventures, but they were very variable quality, for one thing, because they're fan products, let's be honest. And also, of course, Dragon Warriors is like super deadly. So it was nice to actually succeed most of the time. I actually sort of enjoyed the fact that this time there was a bit of peril, and technically I died. If I just been playing this the first time around, I would just been like, oh, I died. Okay, well, shit. But yeah, technically I died, which was actually kind of cool, but got most of the way into the adventure before that happened. So yeah, I don't know. This feels like now I must defeat this this scenario by actually figuring out the path that leads to Balak getting killed, which kind of sucks. But yeah, no, you did not scare me away from streaming in the future. This has actually been unexpectedly a lot of fun. I really wasn't sure how it would go. So it's been really great having everyone come out and go along with me on these silly little ventures. And yeah, we'll definitely do it again. I've heard that I think there's one called Beyond Thunder River for Conan that I remember seeing someone say that was the best one. So maybe we'll do that one next and just see if that one's worth 5 out of 5 crams. But until then, folks, take care of yourselves and each other in the immortal words of Jerry Springer. And yeah, that was really fun. So we will do more, I promise. But yeah, absolutely. See you in the funny papers. Oh, and I just want to give a little shout out, a little promo for the channel. We will be starting our new weekly series, Sunday releases in the week from this Sunday. And we're going to be playing The One Ring. So if you're interested in that, check it out. And we've got some fun behind the scenes content for patrons, currently running rifts and also Pendragon. So folks want to check out those patron exclusive campaigns, head on over to our patron page, patreon.com/esotericrp, to find out how you can become a backer too.